everyone. Ryan Young, Kama Jiu-Jitsu. And I want to thank you all for subscribing to our channel. I also want to thank you for smashing that like button, or if you didn't like the video, go and smash the dislike. It's all the same to me. And those who give comments that are especially helpful, that can kind of flesh out what I'm trying to get across to you, because I'm not always the best person to give an idea out. I mean, it's all in my head, but sometimes I can't get it out. And some of you have been really great in articulating in your comments, you know, clarifications on what I say, or your interpretation of it, or how you believe it to be, and it helps everybody. It helps me too. Thank you for all that, by the way. What I wanted to cover today was this word. Human nature is to seek comfort, right? But remember, the average person will not earn a black belt in jiu-jitsu. If this is what the average person seeks, then that would tell you that to be successful in jiu-jitsu, this is not what you need to seek, right? Kind of like you know, watching people do you know, watching people you admire do what they do, model what they do. People who you don't have any admiration for, don't model what they do, because whatever they do is going to take you in their direction, not in the direction you're looking to go. Here's what jiu-jitsu people like and target. Discomfort. What do you mean discomfort? Well, if I'm comfortable in jiu-jitsu, that means there's no threats against me. And if there are no threats against me, I don't have a need to improve, right? If I'm walking without any headwinds, then what reason do I have to do something about it? Nothing, right? If I'm just kind of smashing everybody, getting anything that I want, it doesn't help me. It doesn't help my partner. I'm beating them. Okay, fine. Well, I'm beating them. So what? Does it mean I'm better? Well, yeah, I am better. But in the grand scheme of things, what if I am in this part right here and I'm doing really well? However, this is the environment I operate in, and this is where the guys are better. So if I'm doing well in my little thing here, I don't even know that there's a whole world up there that is superior to mine. So what I need to do is I need to get out of my comfort zone, right? So what is my comfort zone? This is my comfort zone. I need to start to get out here. But every time I venture out, I'm going to go up against someone who's bigger, stronger, faster, better than me, whatever, and I'm going to be running into discomfort. Well, the average jiu-jitsu person, right, we're all kind of weird in jiu-jitsu in that all the ones who've reached the pinnacle of success, which people say is a black belt, but it's not really, but you know, for people who are not black belts, that's the pinnacle of success for jiu-jitsu. Once you get to the black belt, what have they done? They've done this, right? Who likes to get their neck choked, right? Who likes to get their neck squeezed to the point where you're gurgling, where you're almost going to pass out, or even if you do pass out? Right? In fact, you know, in class this whole week, we've been working on dealing with getting full rear naked choke on you, and that's kind of fun, I can tell you that. But yet people come to class knowing we're going to do it. You know, we'll joke around and say, "Oh man, I hate choke days," or I hate guillotine days, or you know, certain days we just hate, but we all do it. And it's not anything where if I tell everybody we're going to do choke days next week, so you know, get ready for that. It's not where nobody will show up to class. The same people will show up. You know, it's just, and they all say, "Oh, I don't like it," but we know it's necessary to get to our goal of becoming better. So the easy thing for us to do in life is to seek comfort. But what we need to do is to seek discomfort, because discomfort means you need to improve, right? There's a video that I did a while back, and it had to do with the lobster and jiu-jitsu. What does a lobster have to do with jiu-jitsu? Basically, in order for a lobster to grow, he needs to get out of his comfort zone, right? Imagine this is a lobster and he's in his shell. Well, eventually he gets too big for that shell. And he is now, his body inside of his shell is now pushing his shell out. Well, we all know from a lobster shell, they're not elastic. They're pretty hard. So if he wants to grow, he's going to have to find a spot that's here, and he's going to have to hide without a shell. And over time, he will now develop a larger shell. And then over time, he will outgrow this shell, and he'll have to go hide in another spot until a new shell gets put on him. Hence, going toward the situation that gets you discomfort. And I don't know why or how I became wired for this. And I don't know what makes people have a desire to do this. I really don't. But it's in me, and even to this day, having reached a black belt, having gotten my first degree, that's just time. It doesn't really matter to me if I'm, it never mattered to me if I got a brown belt. It never mattered to me if I got a black belt. The degrees don't matter to me. All they represent is just how long I've been doing this. And, do I want to be a coral belt? If I live that long, I guess. But it's not anything. I just keep going here. Because for me, this just keeps heading further and further out. And I just keep trying to get higher and higher. Really, there is no one who knows it all in jiu-jitsu. You cannot be a true, in my mind, master. Although there are people who I deem as masters of the art. If you ask them, they will say they still haven't mastered the art yet, and they're still learning things. So that learning comes from being put into an uncomfortable spot, right? Why did Rickson develop the hip escape? Because Mark Schultz was smashing him and he couldn't do the elbow escape, right? Why did Rickson get so good at letting people put a rear naked choke on him and him getting out? I used to think there was a secret to it. I used to think, what's he doing that enables him to withstand the choke? It literally was from being choked thousands of times. He got choked so many times that he just kept working and working, right? There's a story about a situation at Gracie school, where he was working out of a certain type of choke, and he had one of his upper belts choke him with it. Well, he couldn't get out, and he didn't tap. So we all know what happens when somebody's choking you and you don't tap. Well, most of the time is you pass out. Well, Chrome passed out. And then once he woke up, he said, "What happened?" Guy said, "You passed out." And his reaction was actually kind of funny, but his reaction was he just slapped his leg and said, "That's awesome," right? Who else would look at it like that, right? But he was happy because that position was so uncomfortable for him, but it showed him where his limit was, and now he needs to work toward a new limit, because he thought he didn't have that as a limit, but it turns out that was a limit, so now he has a goal. He might have been goal-less for a period of time, but now he's got a goal. So think in those terms and seek discomfort, and your game will skyrocket. Trust me, it will. If you have any questions, put a comment down below and I'll get to them. I usually try to check them periodically and I answer them. Anyway, have a great rest of your day and train safe. Talk to you soon. Bye.